Prada.
Yes.
Morrissey's wearing Prada.
I know.
So, no, this has been quite a long tour.
It has. It's gone on for about 6 weeks so far, and we go on till December the 20th.
So were you just missing the live vibes?
Well, I was, and I'm not signed at the moment.
Yeah, but that's through your choice, it's not work.
Well, not really. I mean, the record company I was on dissolved, so suddenly I was free, and I am free, and thank you. And I haven't released anything for the best part of 2 years.
Are you writing, though?
Yeah, we have an album that's ready to be recorded, and we do have some labels who are very interested.
Well, no, that's what I mean, like, you're not going to have a problem getting a
Well,
label.
you know, it's an ever-changing world and things like that.
So, you're living in LA now?
I live in LA, and I still have a Dublin hideaway.
Well, Dublin is a hideaway, really, isn't it?
Exactly.
So, so you've no place in London anymore?
I have no place in London. I've chopped every tie.
No desire to...
Well, it's a great place, but, you know, sometimes you just have to move sideways, move on.
Well, I thought there was, when you did Hairdresser on Fire last night, there was a slight dig at London, wasn't
You
there?
listened too intently.
No, but I liked it because it was quite impassioned, because
Yes.
I love the lyric in that anyway.
Yeah.
But that's only a certain type of Londoner rather than London.
Yeah, but nice to focus on them for a change and, you know,
Totally.
dig into them. Yes.
Give them a good kick in, I say.
Well, never hold back.
But were you kind of, with the London shows, were you kind of looking forward to doing that song in particular?
Yes, I was, and because I've changed certain lines, and I just wondered how people would take them. But you know, so far everybody's all smiles.
And I believe, like throughout, I don't know about Europe, but you are getting that football kind of anthem.
Yeah.
Like last night, it's like Morrissey.
It's incredible. I mean, incredible throughout Europe. It's incredible that it happens everywhere. But there really always was that slightly football-y crowd. And I don't know why the press began to write, you know, Morrissey as sado audience and things like that. I don't know. That never existed.
I know, because I'm going to see Crystal Palace play QPR today. And
talking of sado audience.
Yeah, no, totally. But when Palace score, I'm just going to go, Morrissey, and see how they...
They'll all join in.
Because are you West Ham, though, or just not really?
Slightly.
Do you not miss the football with LA?
Not really, no, not really.
What do you miss most? There must be something.
I miss gossip, I miss the wit, I miss the exchange of silliness and people always understanding what you're saying and, you know, throwing in these little Alan Bennett-type references, which you can't do in LA.
Well, you can, but people just go, what?
Well, exactly, so you can't really do it.
So, I just can't get to grips with you living in LA, you know?
Well, it was an accident and something I never planned to do, but I like it, and I like the sun, I like the brightness, and I live a very quiet life. It's not really as if I'm part of this great big rock and roll circus. I'm not.
Yeah,
I don't know anything, you know, anybody remotely pop star-y or industry-ish.
You don't hang out with Guns N' Roses?
I've tried, but they just won't let me in. They won't let me in.
Those fools.
I know.
But day to day, like, have you got a nice network of friends over there?
Small.
But
small,
nice core.
But they're nice people. Yes, nice people.
Are they expats or Americans?
They are mostly Americans.
So no cricket on a Sunday and stuff like that.
Hard to believe, but no.
It's frightening. What I want to do is give
yes,
you a little...
I know you do. You want to break now, don't you?
No, I want to play Meat is Murder, but you more or less made a political statement last night.
Yes.
Which we talked about earlier on. You said slavery trade, Holocaust, meat industry.
Yes.
So, because also you mentioned the fox hunting.
Yes.
So, are you keeping abreast of things in England?
Yes, I'm trying to. I mean, I hate to read British newspapers because I really dislike them. So it's quite difficult to therefore keep abreast, but I do try.
And is this like the fox hunting is a big issue for you?
Well, it's a very interesting issue for me because here we go again, and the belief that Tony Blair will has any interest in passing the bill, I think is just a joke. It will never happen.
Right.
And of course the dopey princes, Charles, William, blah 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 blah, they enjoy it, and it's the right to kill, and they must have their right to kill, and it won't go through.
And in living in LA as well, like the vegetarianism is probably, they find that totally extreme, I take it.
Well, not really. I mean, it's changing slightly, but it's not completely, it's not part of the common language, really.
So are you living on salads?
Yes, and I think I look reasonably well.
I know better than reasonably well.
Well, I know people who eat animals and they look absolutely atrocious, so this old myth of, you know, the protein in animals is a joke. I mean, as far as I know, eating animals, they're all cancerous, and they kill most people.
No, well, I'm vegetarian myself, and for political reasons. I loved the taste of meat when I was a kid, but I kind of, once I realised what it was...
Yes, of course. And how it becomes what it is.
Yeah. But you don't do much campaigning on the subject.
I don't really get asked to do anything like that. I don't actually get asked to be involved in most things in pop music, which most of the time is a blessing. But I'm not really part of the, the little pop society.
You didn't get invited to number 10 that time when all the...
I've never been invited to number 10, no. Or number 9, or number 11.
Who lives in number 11, though? Is that the...
Well...
They put all the dead animals in there, don't they, before they eat them?
I think they put all the old prime ministers there.
But was it very much, like you finished this tour with the actual gig with Meat is Murder?
Yeah.
So is that kind of... why'd you finish with it?
Well, it's very, very important to me, and people occasionally say to me, "Are you still vegetarian?" which really annoys me. So it's still very, very important to me, and with all the live export thing on the television recently, the animals being exported to Greece and other parts of Europe, which is the most atrocious thing I've ever seen. The saddest, cruelest thing I've ever seen. I just can't believe it still happens. So therefore... for me to sing Meat is Murder, I mean, if it just means that 5 people think about it, I will keep doing it.
Well, I say a lot of respect for you for doing that.
Thank you.
But let's play that song now, and we'll sip water.
Yes.
This is the seminal song from the Smiths, Meat is Murder. Of course, Meat is Murder. And Morrissey's in with it. Morrissey, the British press have been diabolical towards you.
Yes.
Why do you think?
Well, I don't really know. It started almost 10 years ago, and I thought it was going to be one of those faddy things with the press, but it turned out not to be. It has lasted for almost 10 years, and it goes on and on and on. It gets worse and worse.
Does it hurt?
It hurts the people around me, but I've become quite used to it.
But, you can say that, but... does it, I want to know, does it actually hurt? Because it's not nice reading stuff about yourself.
No, it's not very nice. But the thing is, if you have an audience who is incredibly dedicated, you also get critics who are very dedicated to pulling you down. And that's the flip side of it. And they also don't go away. And they're also waiting for your next CD, blah, blah, so that they can say you're absolute crap again.
Yeah.
But they don't go away.
But see, it must be so frustrating because, you were the darling of the press in a way, and you always gave good interview, and you gave them the cover so they could sell the magazine.
Yes.
And was it a situation where you were saying, no, I don't want to do an interview, so they went, right, we're having it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a story behind every single bad review, and there's a history behind every single embittered journalist. They try to get you, they want you to meet them at the pub, and if you don't meet them at the pub, they spend their lifetime trying to get to you. And also, if they can't have any positive influence over your life and your music, they try to have a negative one, just so that they'll be quotable and remembered.
But because you more or less said pop music was dead a long time ago, but it's weird actually the whole pop culture is dead, because even those magazines are not important. I think they were influential at one point, but they're not anymore.
Well, it's a very, very separate world now. It's a very separate world, and it doesn't really have anything to do with mainstream pop music, and most British pop journalists live in a world of their own. And I think most of the magazines are in terrible decline, and people aren't reading them anymore. And people don't need to read them, because if you want to find out about artists and their dates and so forth, you just consult the internet.
Do you use the internet yourself much?
No.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
No.
Do you surf?
No, I never ever surf. I use it just for, basic letters and printing and blah, blah, blah. But I've got no curiosity, really, about, certain people's websites and things like that.
You're not even a sneaky one, a weird one that you'd
Never even a sneaky one. No.
So, I've been, obviously, I've been reading, so this probably isn't true, but, all of a sudden where Mexicans are so behind you.
Well, it's news to me, really. I think I mentioned Mexico to somebody along the line, and then suddenly I read that this tour has a Mexican influence. But,
so that was just someone just jumping the gun?
Yeah, but, it's not too bad. I wouldn't worry about it.
Also I was reading just the one article you did recently about you drive around the Mexican areas of LA. Is that nonsense as well?
It's partly true. I mean, I'm not there every day with a notebook and binoculars and, knocking on people's door, but I do occasionally. But, I drive around lots of places, and, it's nothing terrible.
You just like driving.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't really explain it, but there I am, behind the wheel, blah, blah, blah.
With the new material that you've been written, which we haven't yet to hear, because you wouldn't do any new stuff. Was that for a reason?
I'd rather wait till I have a new label and so forth, because maybe I'd do some new songs and people would say not very nice things about them, so it dampens the situation somewhat.
Well, no, that's fair enough.
But also, there's many songs that I'm doing now that I've never sang before, or haven't sang for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's not as if it's the same set as 2 years ago.
Actually, the amazing thing last night was, even though you did 3 Smith songs, was that there was no big deal made out of them. They fitted in nicely with everything else.
Yes, well, they're a part of me as much as any other songs, and I don't feel that I should distance them and say, well, they belong to those people that time.
But you did for a while, though, didn't you?
I did for a while because I wanted to become established as a solo person. I mean, if I had gone in 89 and 90 and gone on tour and sang Smith songs immediately, people would have just persecuted me.
No, I think that's true enough. But with the new material, subject matter, where is it at?
Well, subject matter, it's it's always me and my views, and I can't explain it beyond that. Really, it's just my life.
But it's kind of there's an England you kind of pine for, which is no longer existent.
Yeah.
Is that still a lot of the nostalgia?
Not really. I think that's been worked out, over the past 20 albums.
I'm sure there's another 20 there. You can't just dismiss nostalgia straight away.
I think I hammered that one.
No, because it's because last night as well, just listening to a lot of the lyrics, and I was wondering because having emigrated myself from Ireland to England, I know there isn't a huge cultural difference. Well, there is in many ways, so let me say. But, the same influences are knocking about. I find you can write more about your hometown when you leave it, so that's why I was asking about the subject matter. Are you writing more about England again now?
Not really. I mean, yes, I know what you mean, that distance, you have a clearer vision with distance, but no, that's not happening to me. That's not happening.
So just brand new subject?
Yeah, I think so. I'd say so.
And are you kind of, who are you writing with the band? Or?
Yes, with Alan and Boz.
So are they in LA as well? Yeah.
They're not. No, they're still here. And
so you say
you know where
you've got the lyric, and you go get on the plane to LA.
Yes, that's exactly how it happens.
We're musing.
That's exactly what I say.
So are you writing most days as well? Yeah.
Yes, night and day.
Now you said years ago you'd never write a novel. Is that still the case?
Well, I just feel that I think there's time. I don't want to leave pop music, and I still want to make some more albums. And I know I've been around a reasonably long time now, and people are always saying to me, well, why don't you do something else, and why don't you do something else? And then, of course, you do something else, and people say, well, why don't you do something, and why don't you make an album? So I think that there will be time to do other things.
But because, obviously the lyrics are always pretty spot on, but, do you find there are certain subject matters where you can't really, you might belittle it by putting it in a 3-minute lyric?
No.
You just think you can always...
I think so. I think there's a way to say everything, really.
Within 3 minutes?
2.5.
Right. God, I've been wasting my time writing novels for the last 2 years. Should have just wrote a song.
I was about to tell you that.
That's fair enough. I'll send you a copy.
Thank you.
Let's have another song, because I thought this was certainly my highlight last night. Break Up the Family.
Oh, thank you.
Because no, this certainly isn't a criticism, but it was.
Please criticise me.
With songs
I've got leather skin.
Haven't we all? But songs like Boy Racer, because emotionally, when you're singing that, you don't have to kind of it's an anthem and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
And when you do Break Up the Family, you have to put more into it.
Yeah, but they're very different songs, and they each have their place. And if Boy Racer being the second song of the night, I mean, if Break Up the Family was the second song of the night, I think there needs to be some kind of initial charge.
Right.
Right.
No, I'm kind of getting my head around a bit. So that's right. That's the thing so you want to get the adrenaline going, so do some fast ones at the start.
Well, yeah. I mean, is that so complicated?
No, I'm thinking it's a bit too simple.
Well, the best things are.
So, So the gig is start off with a few fast ones, then hit them with the...
I think so, yes. Just creep round behind them and hit them with the soft ones.
All right, well, here's one of the soft ones. Soft rock from Morrissey. Break Up the Family.
The strange logic in your clumsiest line. It's dead and blazing on my mind. You say, break up the family and let's begin to live our lives. I want to see all my friends tonight. It wasn't youth, it wasn't life, born old sadly white. Resigned where we were to ending our lives. I'm so glad to grow older, to move away from those awful times. I want to see all my friends tonight. Yes, you found love, but you weren't at peace with your life. Homemade, full of hate, despise the ties that bind. I'm so glad to grow older, to move away from those younger years. I'm in love for the first time, and I don't feel bad. Let me see all my old friends. Let me put my arms around them. 'Cause I really do love them. Now does that sound right? Captain of games, solid friend, I stood on the touchline. Hailstones driven home with a car, no brakes, I don't mind. I'm so glad to grow older, to move away from those darker years. I'm in love for the first time, and I don't feel bad. So wish me luck, my friends, goodbye. So wish me luck again, goodbye.
A fine moment there in pop from the Morrissey. That was so with the first O on Viva Hey, everyone was so surprised because it came out so quickly and it was so brilliant as well. Were these songs you'd been storing?
Not really, no. They just all happened at the spur of the moment, and lots of them happened in the studio, so it was very quick.
And was it like, because at the time, obviously the Smiths, were so big, there was a lot of pressure on. Did you feel that pressure, or were you saying, no, I'm just doing my own thing?
I didn't really have time to think about the pressure, and I didn't want to waste time, and I wanted to go in as soon as possible. And Johnny and I had signed to EMI.
Who's Johnny?
No.
Sorry, little joke.
Well, Johnny and I had signed to EMI, and that deal had to be fulfilled. So as soon as the Smiths split, EMI pounced on me and said, don't think you're free. You have to fulfill this Morrissey Marr contract, which I was quite happy to do.
But how did that work out when it was a Morrissey Marr contract?
Well, there you go.
We can't talk about that.
Well, we can, but, you know, it's a bit frustrating.
Sure, and also, like, it is annoying for you because, like, that is such a long time ago now, and it is disrespectful to your solo career.
Well, it's just that I've been solo for 12 years, and the Smiths were 5 years, and but people seem to always want to talk about the Smiths, always.
No, well, you can understand, but I think it is...
I can understand, but I don't understand why people don't ever say to me, why do you write the songs that you do, and what's your motivation, and so forth. It
I did, earlier
yes,
on.
I know.
So, did you watch the boxing match last night? Did you stay up?
No, I didn't. I'm afraid I didn't.
Are you, again, is this
It's, I'm on the, you know, the periphery. I keep one eye open.
So, as did Lennox Lewis last night, I believe. But is it so? If you were in America, you wouldn't know when it's Morrissey on the phone. I want to be in the front row.
Oh yes, definitely. You know, I am that flash. No, I don't do things like that. I say, "Hello, I'm Morrissey. Could I possibly be on the back row?"
I want the seat by the door.
Yes, please. Yes.
So you're about to tour America as well, and like the thing is, you were as a solo artist always much bigger in America.
Yes.
So is that, again, one of the reasons you went to LA?
Yes, it was, because it was a very welcoming place for me, and the audience was so big, and the situation in England was so bad for me, and I was being called and accused of everything, and then, of course, this terrible Smiths trial thing happened, and I got lots of bad publicity from this horrible judge. So I just thought, well, what's really the point? What really is the point?
Because there was, so was it kind of at that point you said, right, I can't take this, I'm going to go...
I didn't say I can't take it, but I just felt that, well, maybe life will be easier elsewhere, really. I mean, when you have journalists prying and going through your dustbin and saying terrible things about your parents and your parents' background, you just think, well, what's the point?
But have you got any of that in America, though?
No. The American press actually completely disregard me. The only thing I have in America, the only thing I've ever had is a large live audience. Otherwise, the American media don't take me on at all.
Because it was, it's quite a strange thing to do, is do a very big tour when you're not plugging a record.
Yeah.
But is that because you just missed the live... You know, we talk about this a little
Yeah,
bit.
it is that. It's also because I felt I could do it. And... I felt that I didn't need the press to do it, and I didn't need to release anything to do it. And I know that the audience I have are very strong, and they're waiting, and we can do it without anybody's help.
But surely, as a writer and a musician, you want to get new audiences as well.
Yes, but I don't know whether that's possible really, because I never get any kind of promotion ever. I mean, I'm doing 4 nights at the Forum over these nights, and my name isn't even outside the venue. There's no posters in London as ever to advertise the gigs.
But that's because they're sold out anyway.
Well, yeah, but it always seems to be the fate I have. I never get publicity.
Actually, we've got 3 pairs of tickets for tonight. Do you want to set a question? Because it'll be even a bigger thrill for the winners then.
Right. Can I have a minute to think about it?
Certainly can. Can you put the clock on, please? But no, when you talk about new audiences as well, like Gary, who works here, he's he's in Norwich, so he hadn't heard any music till he moved to London. And recently,
What, none whatsoever?
No, well
he'd never heard a brass band.
The Hicksons, I think he'd heard of. But his friends had lent him the Smiths and the Morrissey solo stuff, and now he's a fan. So it is,
Yes.
If you're given that oxygen of publicity, there is a new audience.
But that's
there.
Exactly, as you've described it, is exactly how it always is. It's always word of mouth, nothing else. I mean, I've never had a record company to promote me, ever. I mean, do you remember a time when the world was sandblasted with Morrissey?
Just me bedroom, really.
Doesn't really count.
A lot of people used to come into my bedroom.
I can well imagine.
If only. You've had a minute.
Oh, yes, but, I was consumed in questions and answers.
That's true enough.
This isn't fair.
Well, we could say, for people who are listening, what's the second song you play?
No, because I think we've already mentioned that.
Yeah, but it's one of those where they really listening.
You mean what was the second song I played last night?
Yeah.
No, let's say what was the third song.
Okay, so what is the third song on the set? And the set list stays the same, because you'll cheat tonight, won't you?
Oh, yes.
So 01712242000. What's the third song? Gary, he was there, and Angela were there last night, so they'll remember. Or they're in big trouble. They're getting sacked. And I want to talk about this purely just to get it out of the way. But like after the madness thing in the Union Jack, which rightly it's been pointed out that every other band has jumped on and they've called it Britpop after that.
Yes.
But you were totally tortured over that.
Yes. But once again, initially it was the same old journalists who were torturing me anyway, so finally, you know, they saw that they had a cause to do it. And they would have jumped on anything at the time, regardless of what I'd done. But immediately Britpop happened, and every single, you know, pop artist connected with Britpop was Union Jacking. And nobody was ever... Union Jacking? That sounds awful. And nobody was castigated.
No, I'm having that word for the next novel.
I
was out Union Jacking the other night with a couple of friends. We were bored. But see, the thing I don't understand is, because I think it was a nonsense, you know, saying you're a racist. And I think there is a certain amount of dignity in remaining silent. Yeah. But I just couldn't understand at the same time you just saying, look, I'm not...
No, you can't really do it with the British music press, because even if they're nice to you, they never print what you say. And even if they like you, they don't print what you say. So if there's a confrontation, they will never print what you say. I mean, at the time, David Bowie did an interview with the NME, and I think it was Stephen Wells he did the interview with. And Bowie actually came to me with the NME. He was on the cover, he'd done the interview, and he was saying to me, what's this? Stephen Wells says, how could you go on tour with this racist Morrissey? And Bowie was saying to me that Stephen Wells never said that, or the journalist. I'm sure it was Stephen Wells. But, you know, there's this pretense all the time of aggression and being on top and confrontation. And once again, as I said before, the press live in a world of their own.
Yeah, and do you read your own press, though, or do you try to avoid it?
I just don't read it anymore. There's absolutely no point. And it has nothing to do with the reality of how I live, and it has nothing to do with the reality of what I'd like to do with music.
So, but you're saying what you like to do with music now. With the new album, you're saying it's new subjects, less of the kind of nostalgia. Musically, is it, because like we were just talking during one of the records, like for instance with Bowie, how I don't necessarily think it has to equate where someone gets older and their music becomes mellower.
No, I don't think it is. I think we're meant to believe that, and we're meant to believe that as people marry and have children, they sing about their children, and even Bowie sang about his wedding. No, I don't understand it, but it really depends how you live and how edgy your life is anyway.
But have you got much anger in you?
Yes, always, enormously.
Really?
Oh yes, always.
And like, do you take that out in yourself? Like, is there self-hatred involved?
Self-mutilation. It's not self-hatred, but you know, it helps to be your severest critic, really. And every time you make a record, you see the flaws, and you realise that you have to go back and do something and rectify everything.
But less so about the actual critic for music, but like for your life, because you know I find it like, you know, you're coming from a working class background, and then all of a sudden you have kind of the wealth of the world at your feet. Like, there is a certain guilt that comes with that, surely. Yeah,
there is working class guilt, and yeah, I do still have that. And I am very nervous about money. It's like Kirk Douglas saying that he always expects his money to be taken away from him, even now, because he was born in extreme poverty. And, you know, when you're working class, you're drilled with the belief that there are governing classes elsewhere who know better than you and who know what's best for you. Yeah. And I fight with that. So is that one of the reasons that you're continuing with the court case? Well, I'm continuing with the court case because it was very unjust, and it was severely unjust to me, and the judge, John Weeks, was appalling and very injudicious and very unintelligent and very, very rude. But the whole judicial system in England is under incredible review now. People are really criticising it. People are sick to death of these old judges who don't know what they're talking about, effectively destroying people's lives. And it really has to come to an end because it's the old England. And there is no governing body in England whereby you could complain about judges, because the Lord Chancellor, Lord Irvine, who professes to take on complaints about judges, they don't do anything of the kind. They just collect your complaints and give them to the judge and protect the judge. But see, this is what I mean. Like you could just save yourself the bother of like all this angst, and you're going to have to go through it again now. But just saying, look, take some of this money. Well, the appeal system in England is no good, because you simply go before 3 white male individuals who are the same age and the same background of the judge who you're fighting against. So there's absolutely no point with the appeal system. It's absolutely ludicrous. So you have to find a barrister who is prepared to fight a judge, and that's very, very difficult because they're all the member of the same club. They all have this code of conduct and silence where they protect each other against the peasants like me who nonetheless dish out the money all the time. It's an astonishing political system that really is so old and has to end.
Yeah, they should make them just box each other, you know?
Well, that would be much more interesting, but unfortunately what they're really doing is just wreaking havoc on people's lives. And I think of this Judge John Weeks, and every single day of his life he's passing judgment over other people, and I think it's tragic.
But see, this is, again, the point, because, like, you know this guy's name. He's obviously, you know, gnawing at the back of your head on occasion.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just say, let's leave it, I'm going to live in LA, and, like, you know, revenge is have your own revenge by living healthily. And
because
happy.
this judge is a menace, and he's a social menace, and he's still going on, and he's wreaking havoc everywhere with other people, and I don't see why this judge should be protected, because he's very, very dangerous to society.
Well, but you know, obviously I don't know as much about it, but you definitely, he's got you. He's making you angry.
Well,
is there a song about him in the next album?
Well, I'd never please him that much, because, you know, judges, they want to be remembered, and they will be outrageous so that we'll all remember them forever. But, you know, I'd never give him that much satisfaction.
Well, I think that's the proper way to do it. The ticket winners, by the way, were Sam in Fulham, Mark in Epsom, and Pauline in Maida Vale. We'll have a song, and then we'll chat on about less kind of court casey type stuff, because I'm kind of not fully I'm not up to it as much as you are yourself. Now, this is one of your finest solo achievements.
Oh.
Now, it's off Vox Online. Any idea which one I'm going to pick?
Yes, I know exactly what you're going to pick.
Which one?
Used to Be a Sweet Boy.
Nope. Hold on to your friends. Hold on to your friends. Morrissey, what's your favourite song of your own?
It's a song from the album Your Arsenal, and it's called We'll Let You Know.
Oh, well, yeah, I like that. But why is that a particular favourite?
I don't know. It seems to sum everything up somehow. I don't know.
And you're not doing that on this tour, though?
No.
You see, you're punishing yourself again.
Well, yes, I know. I just can't. I've done it so many times in the past. I've done it so many times.
So, is that a lovely freedom, actually? Not because when you do a tour, usually you are promoting an album, so that has to become the main.
I've never applied that logic personally. I find that none of the usual pop logics really apply to me, and that's quite nice. But when you have when you build up a catalogue of songs, it's quite nice to be able to be very choosy.
So was that fun at the start of this tour, kind of getting the big list in front of you, going, "Oh, that one"?
Yeah, it's very much fun. Yeah.
And it, totally your decision, or with the boys going, "We like to rock out with"?
No, they don't say that. They don't say that. No.
Because it must be a bit strange for them, really, because the focus is... I think people will come away from your gig last night and go, what's there a band on with them? Because
well, it's an incredibly happy unit. Everybody's very, very happy. And once again, people never ask me about the musicians, and people never want to interview them, which mystifies me. But it's a very, very happy unit.
But the sad thing is, even if they did interview them, they'd be going, so what's Morrissey like?
Yeah, I think they know that, actually.
Yeah, so they avoid all that. Now, when you get back to LA... Talk us through a day.
Talk you through a day. Well, you might nod off, I think.
No, I'm interested. What time do you get up at?
I don't know whether I should really tell you the truth, really.
Tell me the truth. Well, lie if you want. I'm not.
Oh, right, I'll lie.
If there's a sparkle in your eye, I know you'd tell
No,
me the truth.
I usually wake very early, but I usually do go back to bed.
Bit of Sky TV?
Not really. Not really. No, there's enough channels in LA, but yeah, I usually do crawl back into bed and...
Have a little nap?
I have a little nap, you know. These things happen as you know, at my time of life.
Well, I have it in the afternoons. I don't get up and go, time for a nap.
Yeah, you just find yourself, you know, in a chair falling asleep.
Yeah, but that's usually because Richard and Judy's on. And they tend to make me nod off.
They intend to do that.
Surely you miss stuff like Supermarket Sweep.
I've never seen Supermarket Sweep, to be honest.
You haven't lived, Morrissey.
I have. I really, really have. I mean, you know, you talk about missing. I mean, romantically, yes, I miss many things, but realistically, I really don't. I really do.
Did you watch much TV when you were living here?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Did you not miss the kind of quaint coziness of some of the rubbish programmes?
Absolutely not. No, I mean, strangely, before I left, I became interested in Emmerdale.
Well, they did kind of sex it all up for a bit, didn't they?
Yeah, but I don't miss Emmerdale really.
So you have no one who you kind of ring up and say, "Can you send over some Emmerdale for me?" I'm withdrawing.
Well,
I can't believe you got into Emmerdale.
I did for a while. I thought this is definitely the best of British so-called soaps. And I just thought EastEnders were just so ridiculous. And when Tiffany died, I just thought it was the worst television ever. And I just thought, never, ever again can I watch this programme.
Did you book the flight over to LA the second
As
she died?
As her eyes closed, I was on to British Airways.
You were there, leaving the house, turning off the television with Frank Butcher going, I don't believe it. Morrissey's going, I'm out of here.
That was the final impulse.
So you haven't got into the soaps in LA, though, have you?
No, they're really atrocious. I mean, everybody is dressed from head to foot in Gucci at 9 a.m. But that's the difference between American soaps. People like to see people in extreme glamour. And in England, the soaps, everybody wants to see people in total drudgery and, you know, old cardigans.
Well, Grant had a nice leather jacket at some point, didn't he?
Is that good enough?
I think that's glam as far as EastEnders.
Right.
Why did you not play Manchester on this tour?
Well, we looked at a few venues, but it was all, you know, the kind of Christopher Biggins brigade were in there and the pantomime stuff. And I also hate the Manchester Evening News.
Have they been cruel to you?
They've been absolutely obnoxious to me, but you know, they only like the local pop people who are as thick as two short planks. And if you're a pop person and you're intelligent, they absolutely resent you.
Did you, you know, that book came out about Manchester, very good book actually, just looking at Manchester.
Which one?
Dave Haslam.
Oh yeah, Dave Haslam. Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I remember him as a really good writer.
So will you pick it up at the airport?
No, because he's probably said something horrible about me.
He has not. You're getting a little paranoid here. Relax.
Oh, not without
Massage
reason. Not
Mr.
without
Morrissey.
reason, of course.
Yeah, but no, I think, you know, I just wish you'd rise above that, because you're better than these people.
Well, I think I do rise above it. I mean, I'm still here, and I haven't got a hump or anything.
Yeah, that's me, I'm afraid. Bad posture. So for activities in LA, you've talked us through, you kind of get up, go back to bed.
Yeah, which isn't really much of a talk through.
No.
But I was just hoping you'd be happy with that and you wouldn't ask me any more questions. It's just a very serene, peaceful day, you know. It really is films and television and books and walks and things like that. I'm not a very exciting person. It's certainly nothing to do with rock and roll and, you know, that whole spirit.
And is there any love in your life at the moment?
Me. And that's enough, you know.
There's enough love for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, just think of all the money I saved going out to a restaurant.
Fancy restaurant your own, you could bring a friend to Little Chef and it would cost the same.
Not really. I've got very overweight friends.
But you're in very trim condition, but you're saying you don't work out at all?
I don't work out, I don't do anything at all.
You're just in that car?
Yes,
driving
absolutely,
around?
yes, stooping over the wheel.
Unleaded, I hope.
Oh, everything about me is unleaded.
And how many cars have you got?
I've got one here and one there. Oh, well, I've got two here and one there.
See, you could become a member of the Labour Party, because they all have the 2 cars.
Yeah, they do, don't they? But unfortunately, they have no policies.
So do you kind of, like, you obviously, you know, you're always going to love England, even if you can't live here.
Well, I love the romantic spirit of it.
But as you said, like, you know, that died years ago.
Yeah, it did, but I still love it. I mean, you know, I love the memory of it.
So, before you started this tour, when was the last time you were back in England?
The summer, the beginning of the summer.
And what, that was just to, you know, hook up with friends and the like?
Yeah.
But is it like, you know, when you're in London for this 4 days, is there anything you want to do in London, or is it cooped up in the hotel?
It really is cooped up in the hotel, to be honest, because I have to conserve as much energy as possible. And I know it'll sound ridiculous to you, but I have to avoid the dreaded, you know, sniffles and flu bugs and so forth. So, I mean, the worst thing that can ever happen is that you get a fluey buggy. So I'm a bit cosseted.
So can I borrow your 2 cars while you're here, because you're not using them?
You can have them.
Super duper. No, it's been an absolute pleasure. We're coming to the end now, and like, I just want to know, because like GLR, tiny little station, I just want to know, why did you agree to come on?
Well, because of you.
That's too sweet now.
Oh, I'm too sweet.
See, I love you, so you can always have that love from a distance. If you're only going to be loving yourself.
Well, I feel it.
And so with the European dates as well, are they more feverish for Morrissey than here now?
Well, they've all been crazy, but Nottingham, Leeds and Liverpool were absolutely incredibly crazy. I mean, they're just beyond everything, really.
So do you get a real buzz still from doing that?
I do, because I think the audience have taken so much flack from the press, and I just think, well, you know, it's all very funny and we're all still quite happy and we can survive without anybody, so it's a great victory.
Because it's, like, have you been looking into the audiences? Like, can you see them?
Oh, yeah, I examine everybody. I mean, you know, not literally, but...
and what's the weirdest thing that's been thrown at you?
Well, things get thrown to me, but not really at me. I mean, people
my
just think
mistake.
Very, very expressive, and it's all incredibly loving. And but thankfully, it's very loud also. Nothing like loud love.
Nothing like loud love. Have you been watching porno movies in LA? No, we won't go into that.
No.
No, it's for the next 3 nights. It's because you probably won't be around again for a while, then, will you?
I hope not.
Well, this is a one big splurge of live stuff.
Yes.
Because this goes on for a while yet, doesn't it?
Yes, it goes on to nearly the end of December.
So you're gonna be staying in hotel rooms and keeping your agenda, no cold bugs when.
Yeah.
And have you before you go on? Is there anything you do?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
Do you get nervous beforehand?
No, I don't, because if you get nervous, you ruin everything. And you can't get nervous also because it affects other people. And it's the old thing about keeping one's head while those around you are not necessarily losing theirs, but, you know.
Well, so that you're saying the boys get a bit nervous beforehand?
Well, twitchy.
And do you try and calm them down?
Not really, but...
Here's a Toblerone.
Well, I've tried that method.
But so is it very much like you're kind of going, come on lads, let's do it? Is there kind of a team thing?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it is one. It's all a very spirited thing.
It was quite nice as well that you didn't do the big pop star thing last night of letting the band come on and play a couple of kind of chords.
That happens tonight.
There's me kind of giving you the big love, and it's a fantastic start as well with the old light show beforehand and everything.
Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Well, final question, Morrissey. Album of the year? Have you been listening?
Yeah, and there isn't one.
There isn't.
There just isn't one.
Music's dead.
It's in a terrible state.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure.
And it's great to leave things on that note, isn't it?
Isn't it terrible? In fact, Jason's gone, and that's his news headline. Welcome to GLO. It's 12 o'clock. Music is dead. Morrissey, it's a pleasure. I'll see you again tonight.
Thank you.
Here's Jason with the news.
Streets of London, panic on the streets of Berlin. see you too. Oh,